some bulk slash guys with some awesome people. We got lots of guests here. We got, I think, is Adam still here? Yeah, Adam's still here. Got Adam.
Am I?
Got Roger. Yeah, you're still here. Welcome to the bulk slash stream. Got Kay. Oh my God. Got Argoween. Guten Tag, Argoween. Wie geht's mit dir? Und Memphis. Wie geht's mit dir auch, Memphis?
Hi guys.
Hello, how's it going? Today we are playing some bulk slash and like a new translation, a new navigator of it. Colón, right? That's how you say that?
Colón, yeah. At least we think so. Best guess.
Wait, is your mic up? Lackaway, or you're not talking?
Really?
I can hear you.
You mean it's not Colón Steiner?
Well,
Is it Colin too?
Colón blow.
Wait.
I thought it was Colón Steiner.
can everyone not hear me?
I can hear you now.
I
I'm gonna
can
raise
hear
you
you.
up manually though.
Okay. I'll try to project. Yeah, our best guess is Colón Steiner because the first names are all derived from global currency, and this is the currency of Colombia and I think one or two other countries.
Should have
named
been
after
Colón
Columbus.
Deutschmark, but that's just me.
And then Steiner is I guess it's a pro wrestler.
Scott Steiner? Kay would know.
I don't know anything about wrestling.
Which wrestler is
Steiner,
it?
Steiner Brothers.
You remember?
He said Steiner Brothers. But anyways, we are here with great guests today. So why don't we get started? Ooh, great
don't
voice!
need
I
it.
love the voicing.
Will you be playing with a twin stick today?
Obviously, I would not be playing without it. Also, I need to make sure I said it because I actually
There
don't
it
think I
is.
said it. Or did I hit? Where's the B button on this?
Oh, to cancel out, you tilt the right stick down.
Oops. I'm pretty sure I said it beforehand, so we should be good to go. Actually, let me go restart because I actually want to show the graphic. So I actually do want to show that off. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not doing that great today, but yeah, this great project. I've been really in love with it, and I actually want to go back to the menu because I did not show off the awesome graphic that I think was it Dan or I think it was Dan that designed it, right?
Yeah, Danthrax made the Are you here, Dan? Not here. Danthrax
no, he's-
made the graphic. Yeah.
Oh,
and
he's
then
here.
Worked with. Oh, he is. Oh, I don't hear him.
But yeah, I'll go to the thing. So go down to control options. My video's blacking out. It's like it's like hanging in there by a thread, so a lot of no signals. But it's all the resolution switching.
You're getting comments in chat saying that your volume might be a little bit higher than everyone else's. I
Okay,
don't know if you
sorry
need to
about
up the levels on chat.
Sounds good. Is this any better? Can you guys talk?
Testing.
Okay.
Testing.
Test.
I'll raise up the volume on my end too. So sorry about that. I actually lowered it because it was really loud and everyone's blowing out my eardrum. So should be good now. But anyways, yep. You can see there's controls B, C, and then of course D, which is the awesome twin stick controls. The graphics by Danthrax.
Is he on an
So
older one?
What?
Are you on an older version? I thought I fixed that line up on top.
This is what was sent to me by Dan.
It's possible that it wasn't put in the patch. I don't know exactly what the timing was, but I think Dan may have made the patch slightly before that fix came in.
Hello,
So
can anyone hear me?
Hey,
Yep.
there you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, finally, I fixed it. Yeah, so Knight fixed that little visual glitch at the top of the screen. He fixed that yesterday, but I sent the patch to Patrick 2 days ago. So, yeah, that's fixed now, but you don't have a version of the patch in which it is fixed. Sorry about that.
That's cool, Dan. I still love you.
Or actually, I made the patch 3 days ago. I made it on Tuesday, I think it was. And then we tested it for a couple days.
But how about that twin stick graphic?
Yeah, let me go
Completely
back
from
to it.
scratch, right? You just pull that out of.
Yeah. Well, I think that I found a photo of a twin stick from a good angle, from that angle, and I pretty much just started tracing over it in Microsoft Paint with, pixel art, using all of the color palette that is normally assigned to the screen. So I just used what was there so it wouldn't make it any more complicated. And that took me like 6 hours to do. And then there was another 2 hours of like paring it down and trying to find places where I could reuse tiles, because it didn't fit in the file in the game. We didn't have enough space, so we had to start playing around with like bringing the little labels for the controls you see on the left and right. Mm-hmm. We had to bring those closer to not just the twin stick controller graphic, but also the gamepad controller graphics, so we could shrink how long the cyan lines are there, so we wouldn't have to draw that many tiles. It was a whole thing.
It was really, really well worth it, because I think it looks better than the controller graphics that they had.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It does. So big props.
And I would argue that it controls better with the twin stick than with a regular pad.
Absolutely.
I think I have every game compatible with the twin stick, and I think this is now the best one.
My twin stick just arrived like an hour ago, so I gotta test that out soon.
Oh man,
nice.
You gotta put some photos in the chat. Let's see that one
I haven't
time.
even unboxed it yet.
Ooh, I'm still waiting. Hey, did you ship out my the thing you sent?
No, I haven't. I've been really stuck with the office, but I will get to it.
Sounds good, man. No rush. I'm gonna play that on stream one of these days, though. So once that's revealed, but why don't we get into the game and start talking about the Navigator before we run out of time? Because we always seem to be cutting it close with the game.
Yeah.
You have not.
I just wanted to ask Knight a question real quick regarding the implementation of the controls. Were the twin stick controls already mapped inside the game, or did you have to try to remap normal controls to get to it?
I had to remap all the controls, and I had to rewrite all the controller routines on that setup screen to get it to work.
Okay, so it's not like a hidden feature that they just kind of dropped off. Like you actually had to like get the addresses of all the inputs from the twin stick.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you about that later because I might want to use something like that.
This just want to shout out that new font set.
Yeah,
that
I was waiting for that so I could chat that out. But yeah, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, it's all Dan, but yeah, it was just one of those things that like it kind of looked like the briefings were shouting at you because they were all caps.
Get to the chopper now!
But older games, that's a thing sometimes. And so I figured it was forgivable, but Dan just pulled that out of thin air one day. It was like, hey, look what I did.
Yeah, one day I was like, so I did this. What do you think?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, wow, it looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I just, we kind of had some delays here with getting Saskia's voice into the game for Colón. And with the recreating the music for the endings, the project was kind of slowing down for a little bit, so I kind of used the time to start redoing work I'd already done with redrawing those all that text for the briefings. Because I had enough comments from people where they were saying, why is it all in caps? Why can't you just use lowercase? And the original reason was because we didn't know if we'd have enough room in the file to have bespoke lettering for every single instance of text in the game. So I kind of assumed that we were going to have to start reusing pairs of letters, because each tile is 16 pixels wide, so you fit 2 letters on there. I thought we were going to have to start using pairs of letters, and you never know if they're going to be lowercase or capital. So I just made them all capital. And then we got to pretty much changing all the letters in the game, and we realized, oh, we still have plenty of room. We were able to do everything bespoke. So I'm like, well, I guess I should go back and make it all look better. And the thing is, having it lowercase, it does give us more space. So I was able to go back to Greg's original translations, so Lacquerware's original translations, and add some detail back into those briefings that we couldn't fit before.
Yeah, we had to make a lot of concessions and edits to my script just to fit it in the space. And in some cases, I think being concise can improve a script, but it meant cutting some of the details that were in the original Japanese, or just some of the nuance. So this is actually making it a more faithful translation, and I think also. I think it sounds a little better as well. Not to mention, it no longer looks like they're yelling at you. So,
Yeah.
I know. I kind of like it when they're
worth the
yelling at
effort, I
me.
think.
No, I'm just joking. That's really cool though. The effort, and it looks a lot cleaner.
Yeah. So it's easier to read, and readability is important. So I'm happy with how it's turning out. It's not in this patch, but I just finished yesterday making all of the Navigator intros when you encounter them in a level, making them lowercase as well. So I think I'm done making things lowercase. I'm not going to change the credits because it's just way too much work. It's 200 lines of stuff, and they look all right in all caps anyway. So I'm just going to leave those.
The credits are something that should be shouted anyway. So
Yeah, it's true.
Thank you for playing our game.
But it was a nightmare. It seems like it was a bit of a nightmare yesterday with you doing the Navigator intros, because there are when the Navigators introduce themselves, it's text and VO simultaneously, and after the end of each, usually it's like 3 sentences, and each sentence has a pause after it.
Yeah, it pauses both her talking animation at the top, and it pauses the displaying of the text. So we had to have our English lines, the graphical text, land exactly where the Japanese ended as well. Otherwise, you're looking at, the beginning of the next sentence, or this sentence hasn't ended yet, and it would look real bad, look janky.
This is one of those many ways in which doing an unofficial hack is a lot harder than doing something where you have access to the developer. It can be like, hey, can you change where it pauses? Like nowadays, if you were localizing a game, you'd just be like, hey, we need it to pause here instead of here, and they'd be like, okay. But
right, we don't know how to change the pauses, and it's not important enough to ask Knight Dragon to use his time to do it.
I don't know, he doesn't have anything
good
better
enough
to
at
do.
hacking, he could figure it out, but he's done so much already with helping us figure out videos and to implement the twin stick controls and figure out the graphics for that screen, that it's like, well, we'll just kind of write around it pretty much.
Yeah, it's been sort of a recurring theme of the project. Figure out how to do as much as you can do without any coding, and then occasionally beg Knight of Dragon when we need an actual coder. And I think that's kind of a fun part of the story. We've tried to be scrappy and resourceful without having much technical know-how, and we've found a way with a lot of this stuff. It's kind of like the bar to get into doing this kind of thing is not as high as it might seem.
Yeah, it's really, and that's a really cool thing about it, is that you don't have to have that much technical skill to get into this. It's not like you have to be a programming god. It's like it's very, I wouldn't say simple, but if you put in the work, you could get it done.
Yeah.
But only thanks to you, to your Discord channel brought together.
Yeah, I mean, it really is like a miracle of the internet, and it's all through your platform, guys. Like having created a place for all these people to hang out and talk about Saturn had the side effect of bringing together a bunch of people with different disciplines.
And it all started almost 9 months ago, next Friday, because it was February 19th when we were kind of looking at the old archives, was when Lacquerware was asking about hey, I'd like to get into fan translations, and you're like, hey, well, hop into our Discord, people do that here. And you started figuring out you're like, oh, I'd really like to do bulk slash. And then Momphis started kind of asking questions, and I came in, and we were all kind of trying to help each other, and Knight was helping, and then I think over the next couple weeks you started translating it, Greg, and then by March 1st, you, me, and Momphis were all in a private chat together, collaborating. So
it's amazing, and I'm very happy that you guys were able to find each other and get this awesome project off the ground, because I mean, it's changed pretty much the whole. It's almost changed the whole translation scene, and just propped it up on top of you with a bunch of other people. Just the revolutionary idea of just fan dubs. That's like something I don't think I've ever seen.
I think it's set a new standard.
Exactly. Definitely a standard for the better, and I'm really glad that you guys are working on this because I love all that you guys do and that you branched out too. Because I mean, not only are you working on this one, but you have like Seawin doing the translations as well for Soccer Wars, and I think you have Danthrax doing the Cotton one as well. You worked on and it's just interesting how different people have branched out beyond that, and we have like other translations based off of finding each other. And it's like it's amazing, at least to me.
I think
Sorry, go ahead.
Just real quick, I was gonna say I think it bears mentioning that this whole dub project, this is the product of people with very little experience, including the actors. It was all volunteer work. We had zero budget. We had completely inconsistent like environments for recording. It was all done remotely with whatever mics people happen to have lying around. And like, I think it came out pretty well, at least for a Saturn game. Like, it might not hold up to the same scrutiny as a modern, like, PS5 video game in terms of fidelity and stuff like that. But I think I think the quality speaks for itself. So like, if other people were inclined to take on a project like this and had like any amount of greater resource than we started with, I think that you'd be surprised with the level of quality people could turn out, like if there was someone who had actors all within drivable distance to the same studio so they could actually control the environment, like there's so many ways that like someone could do better, but I still think this came out pretty well. Yeah. So.
Honestly, this sounds like even with all the struggles you guys ran into, this sounds professional. This is like what would be, and like it sounds just as good, if not better, than a studio that they would have in the 90s when this game was being released.
So, do we want to talk about how we brought Saskia into the project to voice Colón here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you want to meet and you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in the project?
It's to the right. Yeah, hi you guys again.
Hello.
I'm Saskia, and it was quite funny because like I worked with Mamdu together, like we worked in the same place, and he was just like, yeah, we have this project and it's so cool, and he told me about it and I was like, wow, that's so cool. And yeah, actually that's it. And then I was the voice actor.
So maybe I should explain a little bit of the context behind the character. So if anyone who's played the Japanese version of the game probably recognizes Colón as the one who speaks a lot of. Basically, she's your tried and true nebulous foreigner character, which is like a trope in a lot of games and anime from Japan. There's this idea of like foreigners in general or Westerners in general. So she speaks a lot of like sort of dodgy English, like when she gets hit, she goes, "Oh God!" And when you do something good, she goes, "Wonderful!" And it's like katakana English. And she ends up being sort of the most import-friendly navigator because a lot of her VO is already in English, even though it's kind of silly English. But for localizing, it presented a unique challenge because what is the local equivalent of that? And my first idea was maybe we don't need to do anything to her, just leave her VO exactly as is.
It's ahead.
Because it's a bunch of English and it's silly and people like it. But a lot of the important terminology, like when she's actually giving you directions, like go left, go right, that's in Japanese.
Oh my God!
And I thought it was maybe not quite enough English for it to work. So I went through a bunch of ideas. The idea I sort of landed on. It was convenient that one of the guys on our team, Momphis, is from Germany, and he knew Saskia, who had studied English. Saskia, is it correct that you studied English in UK? Did I make that up?
Oh no, I think you made that up.
Oh my god.
I volunteered in Cambridge for homeless people. So
Oh, that's
like,
right.
Oh, that's
sorry.
awesome.
It's kind of the same.
Yeah. We studied by volunteering.
Exactly.
We spent some time in UK, and
Definitely.
so we thought,
yeah,
well,
1 year.
that might make sense because it's Steiner, it's a German name, and so that was like at least our first lead. And then I had this idea that we should try and keep a little bit of this concept that you can't quite pin down what her background is. She's just like non-denominationally international. And so you'll notice there are a few lines that are not German or English. We threw in a little bit of other languages just to give this idea that she's like well-traveled, and we don't know why or how, but that's like her deal. But mostly it's where she speaks English in the original version of the game. She now speaks German. So like when she's counting targets, the numbers are in German. And like when she's emotional, like she'll drop a Scheisse.
Yeah, we just got that. I dropped the bomb.
Things like
She's like, oh, 9.
yeah.
I like that.
So it was tricky. It was the trickiest navigator to localize. But I think Saskia did a great job. We just had a second session the other day. It was so much fun. And just like I think more than any of the other recording sessions, we figured out who the character was during the recording session. Like I feel like the recording session was really important to figuring out what we were doing.
No, it's a really good job. I really like that you turned her basically into an Asuka-esque character almost.
She's a lot friendlier though.
A little bit more friendlier than Asuka. A little bit from Evangelion, for I guess those of you that don't know. But yeah, no, I do really appreciate that, and that was really cool that you went with a German-esque character, and you did a great job with the voice as well.
That's all Saskia.
Yeah, so Saskia, yeah.
Thanks so much. It was so much fun, and I had so much help from Greg and Mamdu. It was really so nice. I love it.
Nice. So are you familiar with the Saturn at all, or have you played the Saturn before, or this game at all?
No.
Oh, fair.
I didn't know anything about the game, but yeah, I mean we talked a lot about it.
Yeah, it's pretty normal to not know anything about Bulk Slash.
Yeah, don't worry. I think there's only like a couple of voice actresses that did know about it, and voice actors.
Just Edovine, and mostly because she's friends with a Bulk Slash speedrunner.
Yeah, also Cargo
Aquas.
Cargo Den, who did a couple lines for the endings.
Oh, that's right. Cargo Den, plays it too. That's right. Mm-hmm.
And I guess Crouching Mouse. Yeah.
Crouching Mouse, you're right. Yeah, good call. She plays Kina, who we'll see next. That's the last navigator.
Oh, that's really awesome.
Colón was the last navigator that we implemented. We've had Kina ready to go for a while. Forget what I was gonna say.
That's really cool. How long ago? Sorry.
Just that Memphis helped a lot with the script because I don't speak any German. I know basically just Scheisse.
Du kannst nicht durchsprechen? Ah, das ist schade. Das ist schade.
You guys, German is so good.
Ja, ich habe in Schule in Juni studiert. Ja, Memphis und ich hat wir durchsprechen.
Oh wow, okay.
Ja. Memphis ist mein Bruder, mein deutscher Bruder. Sorry, yeah.
Did you study German or what? I've always wondered.
Me or? Yeah, I studied in university for about. No, I started in high school for 2 years, and I went to university and studied for another 2. But I've been speaking it in total for 15 years or so, I think. So I started in 2007 is when I started taking German in school.
Wow.
Yeah, I really like the language.
15 years? Jeez.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I aged myself too badly. I was talking about that about the Wii. that they're like, oh yeah, the Wii, it's just 2007. It's like, dude, the Wii came out 15 years ago. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with that.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm good. But yeah.
I still remember it.
But yeah, no, I definitely appreciate it a lot, especially someone that speaks German as well. So it's really cool. But yeah, no, it's really cool. Are you sorry, you said your name Arguin, yeah. Arguin, are you going to like be playing this when this drops, or playing it with Mom 2 at all?
I really hope I can play it. Oh my god! I think with Mamfu's help, maybe can play it.
Fair.
Yeah, Mom, you gotta get it set up.
Yeah, actually, I showed her the game last week, and I wanted to show her like her part into it, but yeah, I was slow. Yeah.
I didn't bring enough time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh jeez, yeah.
Well,
this one's tricky.
I played through it like 4 times this week, and you know, it's funny, like because this was the navigator I always used back in the Japanese version. I had like her voice in Japanese is very like strongly like ingrained in my head, so it was very difficult for me to like adjust. And then all of a sudden this week, I was like, oh man, this is her. Like using Saskia's voice, I was like, man, it feels so right all of a sudden. And there was like something just clicked into place. I had to like get over my my old like experience with the game. But
yeah, it's like this is not the voice now. This is the new voice. But no, it's really cool
super
though.
Happy. You know, this was such a challenge. It was like a big localization challenge, and I'm just super happy with the results. You know, one of the hard parts that I got a lot of help from Monfus with is not just coming up with German lines, but coming up with German lines that would be mostly recognizable to someone who may not know any German, who's playing the game. Which is, you know, like when you're playing the original game, all of the English that Colón speaks in the Japanese version is stuff that you would probably learn in like middle school English class, which is compulsory in Japan. So, but like not everyone takes German in the rest of the world. So some people like not everyone learns German, but there's enough shared word roots with English that we were able to find a way to like kind of replicate that same idea of like words that everyone will recognize and that they might find kind of funny. Like when people hear swear words they recognize in another language, it's like they get a kick out of it, right? So like Scheisse is not something you're gonna learn in school, but it's like everyone knows that word just because it's like the dirty word.
Honestly, I thought it was supposed to be like a throwback to Asuka. I was like, oh, he's doing an Asuka thing. That's kind of cool. Also, oh my gosh, can I kill him? No, I don't want to die.
Aim at the bridge.
I can't, it keeps aiming me right.
There are a few German terms throughout this game, like the Spätfest, which we can't really figure out what that's supposed to be, but it's the weapon that they use to...
They're threatening to use it to destroy a planet's worth of people. It's like a super weapon.
Yeah. So it felt like there was like a little bit of German influence throughout the game already, so it's kind of worked.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it really adds to the cast of the game and their personalities of each of the navigators.
I gotta pause you guys for a second. You tortured Pat with the auto locking on the right stick, didn't you?
Yeah, I was auto locking. I was like, why am I aiming?
So yeah, that's Knight, do you want to speak to that at all?
Not really. Oh.
It seems like you figured out the fix already, right?
Yeah, that's another thing that like he fixed, but after I sent this patch to Pat, so
that's cool. I like the idea that the controls are changing. I like the idea that the controls are changing each patch. So like I have to you guys changed the button for the firing when I was already used to it. It's like, oh, actually I'm liking it on the left stick. It's like, oh, we changed it to the right stick. It's like, oh no.
Blame Lacquer for that one.
it just felt, I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess it's a matter of what kind of games you're more used to. I think if you have it all on the left stick, it feels like a flight sim. But I've always thought this game controlled more like a... Like, it's actually surprisingly modern in that it... Like, you have the D-pad... The default control scheme is the D-pad moves forward and back and strafes left and right, just like a modern left analog stick. And then you rotate with the shoulder buttons, which is kind of like aiming with the right analog stick. So I thought emulating that made sense. I think inevitably you spend a little more time in walker mode in this game, even though you're free to transform on the fly. I mean, is that incorrect? Maybe that's incorrect, but
I always felt like I was flying around a lot more.
Yeah.
Than using walker mode.
I mean,
Yeah, I
for Mine in the
stage,
Sky,
I guess.
it would have been great to offer more control options for the twin stick. It just never, I don't know, like...
Oh yeah, somebody said asked me on, I think it was Twitter in the last day or two, if you can switch the inverted controls for vertical. So instead of like, pressing up to point your nose down and pressing down to point your nose up like an airplane, he was asking if you could have it up to go up, down to go down, because that's how he always switches for video games. And that was a response to me saying, oh yeah, we put a new control scheme in the game. It's a twin stick. So I had to tell him, no, there's bulk slash does not allow that at all. That's in none of the options. And I mean, I'm sure we could switch it for one or all of them, but I feel like the game was intended to be kind of used with flight controls like a regular airplane, and I mean we can't add more than the 4 control schemes, unfortunately, or add like some way to modify one for just one little part of it, like changing the inverted controls. So it's like, well, I don't think we can do that for you, bud. Sorry.
Essentially, what he basically said is get good. Essentially what he said, so...
Yeah, get used to it. Well, I told him, or her, whoever it was, I told the person that just try to use walker mode more, because that's not a problem with walker mode, because up is moving forward and down is moving backward.
Shadow Mask actually gave a good suggestion. Just change the inputs in your emulator.
Hey, yeah, there we go.
If they're using an emulator, yeah, it's true, they could do that.
Yeah, you can do that.
You can't do that.
Back then it was rare for that option to exist. It was kind of assumed that up would be down and down would be up. Especially in a flight sim, because that's based on real flight controls.
Yeah, in the 90s, flight sims were everywhere, and they all used those controls.
If he changes it in the emulator, pressing up would go backwards in walker mode.
That's true. It would mess up walker mode and make it feel weird. But if the person is more concerned with flying, then it would make flying feel better to them. So it would be a trade-off. Something's gonna be messed up either way.
Yeah, honestly, it's like a flight sim, so probably just get used to like the flight sim aspect of it. So, no, I really enjoy it. I really enjoyed the layout of the controls a lot. And then once you fix that auto lock on, I think I'm gonna be really happy. Don't have to worry about locking onto the middle of the ship, because that's one thing with that battle, is that it was just kind of hard to do that. But I really like the control layout now. I'm used to it now, so please don't change the shoot button. But you know, I really enjoyed it. And there's one thing I want to talk about, is that you guys were on a couple shows or showed on a couple channels since we last talked. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about that?
We were on Digital Foundry. Man, when was that? It feels like forever ago already.
Late August, wasn't it?
In August, yeah.
So it was forever ago, yeah. And they were very kind. They had a lot of kind words, and it was fun to be on there. I don't even remember what we showed. I think it was Leone, wasn't it?
Yeah, we showed the Leone patch. They switched between Leone and Naira.
And Naira with Rachel. Yeah, and then we were on, so we got featured as part of a fan localization's worth your time video on GameSack, the YouTube channel. And again, they were very kind. That just went up, was it last week?
Yeah, last Sunday.
Yeah.
It was a good video. Yeah, both of those were really good. I really enjoyed both of those. It was really cool, and it's cool to see. I think Seawin was also in there. He had a couple of his stuff he worked on was on there as well, including the.
Basically, everything except Shin Megami Tensei was stuff that I had given to Joe.
Nice.
Yeah, so all those Soccer Wars games, the Game Boy one and Columns 2.
I'm always joking in the comments section that I held his copy of Green Dog hostage in exchange for Soccer Wars coverage.
Fair enough.
Oh my god!
Hey, no, that's really cool. That's really cool that they feature you on that channel. Or Joe from GameStack. I think it's just him now, right?
Yeah, it's just Joe.
Fair. Man, this thing's kicking my butt. But yeah, no,
Next week we're doing Conan. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, that's confirmed. I confirmed it with their agents. Conan is gonna happen. They're gonna be on Clueless Gamer, and they're gonna like talk about the game. It's gonna be awesome.
Have you played Bulk Slash Conan?
I don't play video games.
I mean, he does play games badly as like a segment where he like makes fun of them, so it'd be perfect.
That would actually be very, very entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
I think he was like a closet Saturn fan this whole time.
He was like in the shadows, like watching the channel, following SHIRO closely. It's like, I can't let them know I'm a Saturn fan. My reputation would be ruined.
Been waiting for us to call him.
Well, it was featured on some shows in the 90s, so maybe there are some closet ones out there.
Saturn fans or Bulk Slash fans?
I just said Saturn, like maybe Drew Carey still secretly has the one that was on the set.
Yeah, he just secretly has, like, I love the system, I will never give it up.
Man, you just got a 70,000 point bonus. So we never talk about this.
You just went back. You gotta go back.
I figured I went down.
This game is using that bomb all the time because the scoring is based on chaining explosions together. So what you're supposed to do is let your meter charge up, and then you unleash the bomb into the center of a cluster of enemies, and it will blow up the enemies that it touches, and then the explosions from those enemies blowing up will continue to blow up things in a chain reaction. And if you like 4 continuous kills or more equals a chain, and then the chain increases your score like exponentially the more enemies you blow up in a chain. So you should be like lobbing those bombs all the time if you care about score. And the only reason to care about score, other than bragging rights, is it helps you level up your navigators. The navigators all.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Especially in this stage, it also really helps because the chain attack clears all the rooms. If you throw the bomb before you enter the room, then you can get clear of all the bad guys who are killing you. All
yeah, because it's close quarters. Yeah, so you throw a bomb into a small room, and you're probably gonna clear out the room.
Yeah, I keep dying on this one. I think I might not change the difficulty. I think I might have set it back to normal. So it's like I get my butt kicked.
You had it on hard?
What? I had it on hard? Are you kidding me? Dang. I was wondering why that thing's kicking my butt on this level. At least I hope that's the reason. But
it's certainly not on easy, because I always play this game on easy, and I can tell there's way more enemies than I'm used to.
That's good. I didn't grab the thing up here, did I?
Don't forget to check the idle voiceover lines when you idle for a few seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, she says stuff when you stop moving.
Let me go kill the stuff so I don't get killed when I idle. Oh my god, stop shooting me.
So see it on the map that's still there, yes.
For those who don't know the game, it's sort of loosely based on dating sims. I guess Tokimeki Memorial was like the big craze at the time. So the idea is that you can raise your affinity with the navigator that you have riding with you. And so there are 3 levels for each navigator, like 3 affinity levels. And their voiceover changes a little bit depending on the level. And in this game, the idea is when you get them to level 3, their navigation gets more precise. Because that's their main function, right? Is they tell you where to go. And when you start at level 1, they just say go forward, go back, go left, or go right. But then when you level up to level 3, they'll tell you the directions on a clock. So say target is at 1 o'clock, etc., etc. But there are a few other lines that change. They'll call out what kind of weapon hits you when you take damage, and also when you just sit still for a few seconds, they have these idle lines that they say, and they have the number of things that they can say during those idle lines increases from 2 to like 4 or 5.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, I definitely noticed that. I don't notice it like right away, but I see it subtly. Like, you start saying, "Hey, they're a little bit more less wooden now, and a lot more talkative." Man, these disc things like follow me a lot. They do not want to go away, do they? There we go. But you know, I definitely, yeah, I love just like the personality that's brung to these navigators, because it feels like, you know, you're building a relationship with them almost, you know.
That's the idea.
Exactly.
Jonas brought up a good point. Perhaps we'd like to show one of the ending cutscenes before we end the stream, whenever it happens.
I'll try my best. I'm kind of getting my butt kicked on this one, so I might need to. I'm not sure we're gonna be able to show it off. Are you able to show it off?
Just play the actual video file.
Oh, you can actually play. Oh, I don't. Oh, do you have a link to it that I could play, or?
I think we can send you a link.
That works.
Guys,
Yeah, we can link you to the AVI video file that we have on Google Drive.
I'm about it. Should I send it to you on per private message?
Yeah, just send it to me in my PMs, and I'll go at it in a bit. I'm just yeah, I think it's almost about time anyways. It's about what
7:30. Yeah.
7:30. Yeah.
7:30 Eastern.
Much of what we spent our time doing for the last several weeks is working on these ending FMVs. It's a lot more challenging than the in-game VO, and you know, one of the big holdups and challenges was that the music needed to all be redone from scratch.
And the sound effects. But yeah, the music especially, you know, we really wanted to get it right and sounding like the originals, which I guess involved trying to find some sound samples that were from the 90s. Is that right?
Something like that.
Is Shadow Mask?
Shadow Mask. Yeah, he's
Shadow Mask.
Shadow Mask is our sound effects.
He's in the chat. Yeah, Shadow Mask has been great with helping us to balance all the sound. The man's an expert. At balancing the voice acting with the sound effects and the music, making sure that peaking is kind of mitigated and that sort of thing. He came up with all the sound effects recreated, and he has been helping Jiggle85 and his brother to recreate the music. So he's just been extremely helpful to the project in the last couple months.
I'm very happy to hear that.
Especially since I was so busy with my family stuff and my work, so he took over workload from me regarding the effort.
Pat, you can shoot those pink spikes back there, by the way. You can blow them up.
I gotcha. Yeah, I'm trying to blow up these things real quick.
I think it's a testament just how long this hiatus was between patches. I did a whole new translation for a different game in the interim.
Yeah, that does encapsulate it pretty well. It's been a while. Yeah, and it's like, I mean, it's worth mentioning, you know, like we, Dan, I think you were saying it's been how many months?
Been 3 months since last time we were on the SHIRO show. Yeah, it was mid-August.
Started the whole project.
Man,
earlier on the stream.
I'm gonna die.
It's been since February, but it's like, at any rate, like it's the only reason this project has taken as long as it has, which I don't even think has been that long, is just because like we've all had personal life stuff get in the way. You know, there's been a lot going on this year, so I think in a less eventful year, it might have come out even.
Oh my gosh!
Quicker.
Come here with the fire blaster. Hold still. Oh, too late on that. gonna not get hit.
I recommend, yeah, flight mode, low speed, homing missiles.
Yeah, let
They're
your
your friend.
meter charge up and fire missiles. This guy's very mobile.
Those missiles, I thought, this is such a cool effect. I think that looks so good.
Oh, thank God, I beat him. So
Oh,
close.
you think you did?
Oh gosh, I forgot he has another phase.
Voss? Yeah, this is the Voss.
I forgot. I shot
Yeah,
for
this
guessing.
boss and the last boss both have two forms, and those are the two times that you hear the Navigator say a line relating to that. And with Colón, she's saying boss.
Oh my god! Are you ready?
I'm ready to die.
Saskia, was there a line that you remember that was particularly hard, or like you just didn't really know what we were looking for when like?
I think it was really hard for me, like, to pronounce the like the weapons, like Fire Blaster and
Oh yeah,
Desire Blaster.
Bezier Blaster. Yeah, every
It's
single
so hard
actor
to say.
stumbled over that, and we had to explain it every time because none of us knew that word before this project. It's such a random name. The Bezier Blaster. It's named for a mathematical curve, which is the shape that the gun. It's like the gun is. It looks like a Ghostbusters beam, and I guess they achieved that effect using a Bezier curve, and so they call it the Bezier Blaster.
Should have named
And
it
we
the
had-
Ghostbuster gun.
They should have named it that. Yeah. Proton Blast or something.
Exactly, proton packs. I would have been fine with that language change.
See, this is one of those things where if this were an official localization and we had the blessing of the original creators, we would probably propose changing the name of something like that because it doesn't click with anyone. You know, no one sees that and is like, "Oh yeah, it's a Bezier gun." You know, but if you said like proton beam or something like that, some people would probably think of Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I'd call it like the Arc Blaster or something.
Or the Arc Blaster, yeah.
Oh, whoops, I
That's
don't-
not true. If you're in computer science, you'd get it.
If you're in comp sci, you would get it.
Yeah.
If you're a computer science, you're a
Alright,
true,
so here's her
true
ending.
programmer.
Here we go.
Let me just get that centered, guys. Give me a sec. They'll play that off. They're in the middle.
It's like how the Fire Blaster should be like a flamethrower.
Let me know if you guys can hear this.
Colón, would you be my partner for the rest of time?
Oh, Chris, I'm so
You can hear it on
happy.
stream, just not in
Just a
Discord.
second. Oh, hey, it's from Miguel.
What now?
Ooh, Arnold.
What?
Wow, Conrad and Giuseppe.
Who's Giuseppe?
I'm sorry, something just came up.
What? Hey, hold on.
But deep down, you're the only one for me.
The way
That's
she
really awesome.
runs away at full speed.
That's amazing.
So that's Saskia as Colón and Jonathan Boncher as Chris Dooley, our protagonist. One quick note here that the names of her many boyfriends
Ow.
in that cutscene, in the original Japanese, it was it was Sylvester, Michael, and Arnold. And we sort of deliberated over this because the juxtaposition of Arnold and Sylvester together, I forget who it was, but someone watched that and was like, "Oh, she's dating those movie stars." And I was like, I don't think, because it's Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I was like, I don't think that's the joke. I think that's just like foreign names that they thought of, and they're like little Easter eggs, like referencing those actors. I don't think she's supposed to actually be dating 90s movie stars in this far-flung sci-fi future.
Right, this isn't
That would
Earth.
be so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were like, well, does that mean for English speakers who are super familiar with those actors, does the joke get muddled because those names are so familiar? So we made the decision to change the names. And we tried to go for more international names to emphasize this idea that she's got boyfriends from like all over the galaxy. So she's got a Miguel, and she's got a Giuseppe, and she's got a Arnold we kept.
Yeah, we kept one.
It's pretty funny. But yeah, I think that's about as much time as we have here. I have to head off in a bit, but did we before we go, you want Arguin, did you want to sort of plug anything that you have, or any like channels or anything, or Twitters or Facebooks?
No. I'm not that famous. But thanks anyway.
Fair enough. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on here, though. We
yeah,
appreciate that you talked to everybody, and that you volunteered to do a voice in our game to begin with. We really appreciate it. It turned out awesome.
Your time for 2 separate sessions.
And
it was a
don't forget, she was the first. I think she one who made an addition. Or when we covered up that we are able to alter the voice clips, I asked her to give us some voice. After I implanted my voice into the game, and it didn't sound good. Yeah, she was the first to go with like for proof of concept.
Yeah,
so
Saskia saved us from making Momphis play Colón Steiner in the game.
A pitched up.
That should be a hidden bonus.
No, this will be the German version then. Yeah, after we finish this one, Pat and I and Xenos and other guys will make the German version with male voice.
Wasn't that what, like the official, like the original German version of Grandia? Wasn't it like that, where they actually just had like bad German acting just dubbed over top the English voice acting?
Oof.
Yeah, for the FMVs, yeah, it was like that.
Oof. So they did like the good old movie dubbed on TV in Spanish.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really terrible.
All right. Well, I think that about does it. How long do you guys think it's gonna be until this finally comes out in the wild for people to play? Do you have more of an idea?
You've been looking at the progress tracker. You said it was 94% last time you looked?
We're about 94 or 95% done. We have a little more work to do on redubbing the endings. I think really we just have the general ending left to finish. And we've just got a few more odds and ends. We got to get the localization team's credits into the game after the main game credits, and a couple other RAM error screen translated text needs to get put in, that sort of thing. Just a couple odds and ends, and then we'll be done. So, I mean, I feel like we're looking at within the next month, this patch should be ready to go and out to the public, and everyone can enjoy it.
Oof! I gotta get that video done pretty fast then. Get that out and get it ready for release.
Oh, yeah, I'm sweating it trying to get the translated manual done too. I've been kind of working on it while we're talking here.
Yeah, sweating.
And
I'm sweating myself.
We still have Kina to show if you guys want to do this one more time.
Absolutely, we want to do it one more time. We want to do it 12 more times, actually. All the times.
Just keep going.
Exactly. Let's do this. But yeah, I think that's about it, guys. So remember, you must play Sega Saturn and keep track of these guys and keep track of their stats, and soon you'll be able to be playing this and be blasting away with bezels and throwing flames. Werfen Flammen is what you'll be doing. So
Flammenwerfer. Yeah.
Flammenwerfer. No, you're gonna be Werfen Flammen. Werfen Flammen Allertagen. But anyways, thanks for listening, guys, and take care and see you guys later.